the moment that found you. Close your eyes for a second and just listen. What if I told you that this moment, the one you're living right now, was never an accident? That out of the billions of moments in your life and the endless stream of videos you could have clicked, you were meant to be here, hearing this now. Not later. Not tomorrow. Now. Maybe you don't even know why you clicked. Maybe something in you whispered, "Stay, this matters." And it does. Because there are some moments in life that are not random. They are summons. This is one of them. You see, everything that has led you here, every decision, every heartbreak, every late night you stayed up wondering if things would ever get better, it's all been preparing you for this exact message. And I'm not here to give you another generic pep talk. I'm here to tell you something your heart has been aching to hear. You are standing at the threshold of the life you were always meant to live. But first, I have to show you something most people never see until it's too late. There's a truth about the mind, a truth that's both powerful and terrifying. Your mind is always working, shaping your reality in ways you don't even notice. Scientific research shows your brain often makes a decision 7 seconds before you're even aware of it. 7 seconds. That means right now, as you listen, your future self is already being shaped. The question is, will that self be the person you dream of becoming or the person you'll regret becoming? And here's the heartbreaking reality. Most people never get there. They let the moment pass. They choose what's safe. They talk themselves out of the life they could have lived. Do you know why? It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they're not smart enough. It's because they feel uncomfortable. They see an opportunity and hesitate. And hesitation is where dreams go to die. I don't want that for you. That's why this message had to reach you today. Not yesterday. Not next month. Not when you're ready. Because nobody is ever fully ready. Not you. Not me. Not the most successful person you've ever admired. Readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision. And right now, you're making a decision, whether you realize it or not. It might be as small as, do I keep listening or do I scroll away? But those small choices are the seeds of the future you. One path leads to growth, courage, and becoming the person you've always dreamed of. The other leads to quiet regret. So here's the first thing I need you to understand before we go any further. Your future doesn't begin when you figure everything out. It doesn't begin when you finally have time. It begins the moment you decide to step forward, even if you feel unprepared. Think of it like standing on a dock, staring at a boat that could take you to the life you've been longing for. The boat won't wait forever. Every second you hesitate, the water carries it farther away. You can either step on, even if your legs shake, or watch it disappear. And here's the thing. No one is coming to push you onto that boat. There is no perfect sign, no perfect timing, no right moment. There is only right now. Most people waste their lives either replaying the past or worrying about the future. They think about what they should have done or what they might do one day. But life isn't lived in should have or one day. Life is lived here in this heartbeat, in this inhale. And that's why I'm asking you, don't just listen to these words. Let them move you. Because this is not just a motivational video. This is your wake-up call. You're at a crossroads. One path is safe, predictable, comfortable. The other is unknown, messy, demanding. But here's the truth no one tells you. Comfort will kill your dreams faster than fear ever could. Fear at least means you're doing something worth feeling afraid about. I know what your mind might be saying right now. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. What if I fail? But the most dangerous words you can ever believe are, I'll start when I'm ready. Because ready never comes. Fear will always have another reason to make you wait. So, right now, before we go further, I want you to notice something. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel the air in your lungs. That's life, happening in real time. And it's not waiting for you to catch up. Every second you spend doubting yourself is a second you could be living the life you've imagined. And every maybe later becomes never faster than you think. So ask yourself, are you going to keep listening? Or are you going to click away and go back to the same loop? If you're still here, you've already made your first decision. And that's where we begin. The voice that's been holding you back. There's a voice inside you. You know the one I mean. The one that whispers right before you take a risk, don't do it. You're not ready. You're not good enough. It's not loud. It doesn't have to be. It's quiet, soft enough that you might mistake it for your own thoughts. But that voice has been shaping your life for years. It has made you pause when you should have leapt. It has made you choose safe when you should have chosen bold. It has made you stay quiet when you should have spoken. And every time you listen, it wins. Here's what you might not realize. That voice is a liar. It's not you. It's made of scraps, bits of fear you picked up when you were young, things people said to you before you even knew who you were. It's built from every time you've been embarrassed, every time you failed, every time someone made you feel small. And slowly, over the years, those scraps knit themselves into a script. The voice doesn't yell at you. It doesn't need to. It waits. It waits for the moment you feel brave enough to act. And then it leans in and says, be realistic. Wait for the right time. What if it doesn't work out? And you believe it. You see, fear doesn't have to stop you with a wall. It only needs to put a pebble in your shoe, small enough to make you think, maybe I'll deal with this later. But later becomes weeks. Weeks become months. Months become years. That's how dreams die, not in one dramatic moment, but in 1,000 quiet hesitations. Think about the last time you almost did something you really wanted to do. Maybe you were about to sign up for something. Maybe you were going to start the project. Maybe you were going to have the conversation. And then that voice appeared. You told yourself you'd wait until you felt ready. But ready never came. Here's the truth. Readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision. The people who succeed don't wait for the fear to vanish. They feel it and move anyway. I want you to imagine two versions of you. The first is the one who listens to that voice. They stay in their lane, stick to the familiar, and keep telling themselves, one day. They're safe. They don't take big risks, but they also don't live big dreams. The second version of you hears the same voice, but chooses to act anyway. They don't wait for certainty. They step into the unknown with shaky hands and pounding heart. And with every step, they build a new voice inside themselves, one that says, I can handle this. I can figure this out. That's the version of you we're fighting for. Because if you keep listening to fear, it will always find a way to sound reasonable. It will say, you should wait until you have more experience, more money, more confidence. But here's the cruel twist. You only get those things after you start. You can't become confident by waiting. You become confident by acting. You can't gain experience without first stepping into inexperience. You can't create a life you're proud of without walking straight into the moments that terrify you. You've already done it before, you know. You've had days where you thought you couldn't survive, moments where you felt crushed under the weight of uncertainty or pain. And yet, you did survive. You've walked through fire before, and you're still here. That's not weakness. That's resilience. Every scar you carry is proof that you can get back up. Every time you've been knocked down, you've learned something no book could ever teach you. The voice in your head will never disappear completely. Fear is part of the human condition. It's a survival instinct. But you can stop letting it drive the car. You can let it ride in the back seat while you decide where you're going. And it starts now. I want you to notice the voice as it speaks to you. Not just now, but every day. When you're about to speak up in a meeting. When you think about starting something new. When you imagine a version of your life that's bigger than the one you have now. Hear it. Recognize it. And then move anyway. The people who create extraordinary lives are not fearless. They're simply unwilling to let fear choose for them. I want you to try something small today, something you've been putting off because you've been waiting for the perfect moment. It could be sending an email, making a call, applying for something, or simply saying something you've been holding back. The size doesn't matter, the act does. When you do, you'll feel a shift. Because the moment you act despite fear, you prove to yourself that fear isn't the truth, it's just noise. And with each act of courage, that inner voice changes. It becomes quieter. It loses its power. And you start to hear something else, something stronger, something older. Your real voice. The one that's been waiting your entire life for you to finally listen. The power you forgot you had. I want you to pause for a second. Not just to hear me. Pause to really feel where you are right now. Because here's the truth most people never see. You are not missing anything. Not talent. Not strength. Not worth. Everything you think you need in order to begin, it's already inside you, waiting. But here's the problem. Most people spend their whole lives convinced they're missing something. More time, more money, more luck, more support. And while they're waiting for it to arrive, their life quietly passes by. You've probably told yourself before, I'll start when I'm more confident. I'll try when I have more time. I'll take the risk when I know I can handle it. But all of that is an illusion, because what you need isn't more of anything. It's the decision to use what you already have. Inside, you live a version of yourself you've barely met. A version who stands taller, who speaks with more conviction, who shows up when life gets hard and refuses to quit. They're not a fantasy. They are you, stripped of excuses, stripped of hesitation. But here's the thing. That version of you only appears when you stop holding back. Holding back can become a habit. It's comfortable. It's safe. It's the shield we use to avoid embarrassment, failure, or judgment. But what's the cost? Every time you hide, every time you say maybe later, every time you dim your own light because you're afraid someone might not approve, you pay for it with a piece of your own life. And the price adds up. Think back to the moments when you did step forward, when you spoke up, when you took the leap, when you pushed through the fear and acted anyway. Do you remember that feeling in your chest? That rush that told you, this is who I am meant to be. That feeling wasn't a fluke, it was proof. Proof that the strength you're chasing is not something you have to earn. It's something you have to unleash. Let me tell you something important. Potential isn't a treasure buried somewhere out in the world, waiting for you to find it. Potential is a switch. It flips the moment you decide you will no longer let fear make your choices. And every time you choose courage over comfort, that switch gets brighter. Every time you push through resistance, you train your mind to trust you. Every time you keep going when you want to stop, you rewrite the story you've been told about who you are. You've already proven you can survive. Think about it. You've been through days you thought would break you. You've faced moments when you wanted to quit, when the pain was too heavy, when you weren't sure you'd make it to the next morning. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still moving forward. That's not weakness. That's resilience. Resilience is the quiet, stubborn strength that carries you when your legs are shaking and your hope feels thin. It's not about being unbreakable. It's about refusing to stay broken. But here's the thing about resilience. It's not just for surviving. It's for building. If you can survive the worst days of your life, imagine what you could create if you used that same strength on your best days. The world doesn't just need the part of you that endures hardship. It needs the part of you that dares to dream while you're still in the fight. And when you stop waiting for permission, when you stop needing someone to tell you you're ready, something shifts inside you. You start to realize that the key you've been looking for has been in your pocket the whole time. It's the choice to act. Not tomorrow. Not when it makes sense. Now. You see, courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more. Your dream matters more. Your purpose matters more. The life you were meant to live matters more. And once you understand that, you stop asking, am I ready? You start asking, what's my next step? That's why I want you to hear me clearly. You're already enough. Right now. Not when you earn more. Not when you learn more. Not when you feel more ready. You're already carrying everything you need to begin. The only thing left is to use it. And when you do, when you take even the smallest step toward the life you want, you'll realize something life-changing. You were never waiting for the right moment. The right moment was waiting for you. Living by purpose, not by fear. There comes a moment in every person's life when they realize, I've been living by reaction, not intention. We go through the motions. We answer messages. We follow routines. We deal with what's in front of us, and we call it life. But deep down, there's a difference between being alive and truly living. Fear thrives in a life of reaction. It wants you distracted. It wants you busy enough to forget that you have the power to choose. Because the moment you remember you can choose, fear starts to lose its grip. It's easy to think that purpose is some big, shining revelation that arrives in a single cinematic moment. But purpose isn't found, it's built, brick by brick, decision by decision. Purpose is what happens when you stop asking, what do I feel like doing? And start asking, what needs to be done to become the person I'm meant to be? It's waking up and choosing the action that aligns with your future, not your mood. Because moods are fleeting, but purpose is steady. Moods can change in minutes. Purpose can carry you for decades. Think about the times you've felt the most alive. Chances are, it wasn't when you were comfortable. It was when you were stretched. When you were risking something. When you were doing something that mattered. That's the secret no one tells you. Purpose doesn't always feel good in the moment. Sometimes it feels terrifying. Sometimes it feels exhausting. But always feels right. Here's the truth. You've already survived moments that try to break you. You've faced days when the weight on your chest felt unbearable. And yet, you kept going. You didn't keep going because it was easy. You kept going because something in you refused to stop. That's your purpose whispering to you. Most people wait for someone else to hand them a mission. They think if they just meet the right person, land the right job, get the right opportunity, then they'll know what they're supposed to do. But you don't need permission to live on purpose. No one else can give you that assignment. It's yours to claim. And here's the key. Purpose doesn't require perfect circumstances. It requires a decision. The decision to live for something bigger than fear, bigger than excuses, bigger than your comfort zone. When you live by fear, you see obstacles everywhere. When you live by purpose, you see opportunities in the very same places. Fear says, what if I fail? Purpose says, what if I learn something that changes everything? Fear says, I don't know enough yet. Purpose says, I'll learn as I go. Fear says, what will they think of me? Purpose says, it's not about them. It's about what I'm here to do. Living by purpose means you will sometimes feel alone. You will outgrow certain people, certain places, certain habits. Not because you're better than anyone else, but because you're becoming more you. And yes, some will misunderstand you. Some will question you. But the people meant to walk with you will respect your direction, even if they don't always understand it. You've already been through seasons of your life where you compromise your values just to fit in or keep the peace. You know how that feels. It's a slow erosion of your soul. But the moment you choose purpose over approval, something powerful happens. You stop living to please. You start living to fulfill. Purpose will ask things from you that comfort never will. It will ask for your discipline. It will ask for your courage. It will ask you to keep going even when you can't see the finish line. But here's the beautiful part. Purpose will also give you what comfort never can. A life you're proud to look back on. A life that feels yours. Every great change in history started because someone refused to let fear run the show. They chose a reason, a mission, a vision, and they aligned their daily actions to it, even when no one was watching. That's the kind of quiet power I want for you. Not the loud, showy kind. The steady, unshakable kind that lives in your bones. So ask yourself right now, what will my day look like if I lived by purpose instead of fear? What would I do differently today? Because that's all it takes. Not a grand, sweeping plan. Just one different choice. One courageous step in a direction that feels like truth. And tomorrow, another. Before long, those steps will become a path. And that path will lead you to the life you were meant to live all along. Purpose isn't waiting for you out there. It's waiting for you in here. All that's left is for you to say yes. This is your moment. One day, you're going to look back at your life. You're going to remember the people you loved, the risks you took, the moments that shaped you. And you're going to remember the moments you let pass. The times you said, maybe later, and never came back to them. The truth is, the most painful regrets aren't the mistakes we make. They're the chances we never took. Right now, you're standing at crossroads. In one direction is comfort. It's familiar. It's safe. It's the life you already know. In the other direction is the unknown. It's unpredictable. It's full of challenges you can't see yet. But it's also the only road that leads to the life you haven't lived yet. The life that could change everything. Your future is not some far-off day waiting for you to be ready. Your future is being built in this moment by what you choose to do next. If you're hearing these words right now, it's not random. It's because something in you is ready to wake up. And yes, maybe that thought terrifies you. But I'll tell you a secret. Fear is a sign you're standing on the edge of something important. The next version of you is not going to be created by waiting. It's going to be created by action. Even small action. Especially small action. Because every huge change in life starts with a single ordinary choice. And every time you make that choice, you send a message to yourself. I am moving forward. I am becoming who I was meant to be. Think of your life 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. If you keep making the same choices you've been making, where will you be? Will you be proud? Will you be free? Will you be fulfilled? Or will you still be standing where you are now, wondering when things will change, forgetting that you're the one who has to change them? The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect guarantee. And you don't need them to. Because everything you've heard in these words about your strength, your resilience, your purpose, it's all real. It's all yours. This is not just about chasing dreams. It's about taking back your power. It's about refusing to let fear, hesitation, or other people's opinions dictate the story of your life. And that story, it's still being written. The pen is in your hand. So here's the question that matters. What are you going to do with this moment? Will you scroll past it and forget? Will you tell yourself you'll start tomorrow? Or will you act today? You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know exactly what's coming next. You just need to start. Send a message. Sign up. Make the call. Say the words. Take the step. Because when you do, you're telling the universe, I'm ready to live the life I was meant to live. 6 months from now, a year from now, the version of you who took that step will look back and say, thank you. Thank you for not waiting. Thank you for being brave enough to begin. Thank you for not letting fear win. So let this be the moment. Not the one you replay in your head as the day you could have started but didn't. Let this be the moment you'll point back to and say, that's where everything changed. You are meant to see this now. And now, it's your turn to move. Your future self is waiting. And they're more powerful, more alive, and more unstoppable than you can imagine. But they can only exist if you decide to create them. Today, you've heard the truth. You felt it. Now it's time to live it. Go. Do the thing you've been putting off. Say yes to the path you've been afraid to walk. Begin, even if your hands shake. Because this is it. This is your sign. This is your moment. And you will never be the same again.